Why? Why?
I mean, now that you say a lot of this out loud.
Of all time is gonna give you a soul injection.
They're the 5 spunkiest little characters you've ever met.
It's a possibility.
For years, they've been waiting
Can you see?
Is it him?
and waiting
He loved us.
That's right.
for their master to come home.
Master! Blanky!
We've been dumped, abandoned.
We're not gonna give up hope.
But now their waiting is over.
We're going out to find him.
What?
We're gonna go out and find the master.
Join a brave little toaster and his unusual pals on a magical journey
I'm ready.
through a world of mystery,
Light! I see light!
fantasy, laughter, and adventure. It's an exciting, strange, and fantastic voyage where you'll see scary places,
Hey, fellas, look!
a whole lot of little creatures,
Get out of here!
a few odd contraptions,
But I can't open a lamp and a shaver.
and some devices that are simply
Remarkable.
They're 5 plucky appliances determined to find their master no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what.
Join an inquisitive radio,
Well, what does that mean?
a bright little lamp,
I'm glad we don't have to do this every day.
a snuggly blanket, a crotchety old vacuum cleaner,
You're telling me.
and a brave little toaster.
Time to go.
In a heartwarming story for the entire family. Plug into the adventure of The Brave Little Toaster.
I have not been this excited to do a movie, I think, since Dennis the Menace. Well, because you haven't seen this.
Yeah.
And I have. And I think Dennis the Menace was the last one where it was like, I watched all the time.
Okay, and did you watch this all the time too?
I don't know all the time, but I remember watching it multiple times.
Okay. May I say, from a person who's never seen this movie,
Okay.
I absolutely hated it.
I don't
I
believe
hated
you.
this movie.
Really?
I hated this movie.
Really?
This may have been, I'm not using hyperbole, my least favorite movie we've done.
No.
And I'm including Blank Check and I'm including Ladybugs.
Holy hell.
The line that I wrote was, if this movie had a couple of like inappropriate sexual jokes, it would be far and away the worst movie.
Oh,
we've
it
done.
does.
Then it's far and away the worst movie we've done.
Oh my God.
I hated it. I hated it. The irony here is that we were literally just talking earlier about future movies we were going to do. And I was like, you know what? I feel like a lot of movies have just been like, fine. Like I can deal with all of them. Like we haven't had one in a while that's upset me. And it's been delivered right at my doorstep.
This isn't a bit? You're serious?
This is not a bit. I disliked it. 90% of my notes are me hating this movie.
Oh my God.
So
Let's dive in, man.
Let's jump in.
All right. 1987,
Mm-hmm.
rated G. I thought this was our first G movie. As you pointed out, Wizard of Oz was number 1. I also thought this was our first cartoon. Forgot about Goofy movie. So no first for us here.
Our first maybe movie that we had to watch on YouTube. Is that maybe
Was
a
there
first
another
there?
one? I don't know.
Not sure.
Doesn't matter. We have no memory. But an hour, 30 minutes, 7.2 on IMDb, 79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Did it win any awards? 1988 special jury recognition at Sundance. I don't know what that means. But for writer-director Jerry Reese.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's like for a movie that didn't win any of the other awards, but
there's a jury?
There's a jury that picked out like
At
their own
Sundance,
special.
there's like a judge and a jury.
It appeared, and Judge Judy is actually what it is.
Okay, cool.
And you have fond memories of watching this at the time that it came out or later in life?
I have not seen this movie in 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it came out in 87.
Yeah, at the ripe age of 2 or 3.
Yeah, so I know that I saw it. I know multiple times.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of things that I remember. There were several. Pretty much every music score, like or every musical scene.
So when the song started, you knew
Then
it kicked in?
And
okay.
even if I didn't right away, then like the chorus or there were certain parts where I was like, oh, definitely remember that.
Okay.
So there were, I wouldn't say like the majority of the movie, there's not like a ton of crazy memorable scenes. I mean, I have some hot takes. I also have some. This movie has a ton of trivia and facts.
Okay.
So I'm sure we'll get into all that
Plenty to
later.
discuss. I'm going to present to you a new topic, a new potential category.
Okay.
Which actually I batted around my head previously and then forgot to write down. It was appropriate title. Does the name of this movie fit what this movie is?
No, that was going to be my hot take.
Perfect. I love this because I said I would say not. Now I know I'm putting you on the spot. If you could give this movie a different title,
Yeah.
does anything come to mind?
I mean, appliances that are not fun.
I wrote down all appliances die and are assholes.
We're in lockstep. So I started writing down what the appliances did that were brave because I'm like, I couldn't even remember until 3/4 of the way through what the toaster does that is brave, which happens in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
I think I wrote down, is this toaster
But
brave?
I'm like, he's not being very brave.
The vacuum jumps down
straight into the river and saves everyone.
Yeah.
The lamp electrocutes himself to charge the battery. That's pretty brave.
Brave little lamp, maybe.
The toaster sacrifices his body at the end to save Master. Spoiler alert. But and there's no way he would have been restored. No. That's neither here nor there.
Listen.
But
we don't have
yeah,
time.
I would not have called it the brave little toaster. No. And there are so many questions about the plot of this movie. So yeah, lots of hot takes.
Yes.
So let's get in this.
All right, so taglines and plots. I found a handful. The first being a group of dated appliances embark on a journey to the city to find their master after being abandoned in a cabin in the woods. And then some taglines were plug into the adventure. Imagine if your toaster went on a journey of its own. He didn't do that. They were in a group. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your appliances are? And also a fabulous musical journey that is sure to delight everyone.
I don't know about
I don't know if
that.
any of those are fully
This plot I found seems half plot, half review. A group of dated appliances, which was the same as what you began. But then, and I'm looking to see if it's the same. It's not. That find themselves stranded in a summer home that their family had just sold, decide to, a la The Incredible Journey, seek their young 8-year-old master. Didn't know he was 8.
Nope.
Children's film, which on the surface is a frivolous fantasy, but with a dark subtext of abandonment, obsolescence, and loneliness.
Plots done poorly.
And this is my hot take, and this is also a lot of other categories. It's a scary, not fun beta version of Toy Story.
Sold. Sell me that. But was put out before Toy Story. So
Yeah, a lot earlier.
So I'm wondering if this movie walked so Toy Story could run.
That is the exact
In which case,
thing that I wrote down.
I will allow this movie to exist if I could find that quote anywhere. If they have
Well,
no
I wrote
connection.
it down. So those exact words.
Okay.
No joke. Wrote that down. So this is Toy Story.
Yeah.
Mishmash is like the one half greater, half like whatever.
Yes.
And it's in the trailer. That's Sid's mutant toys that he put together.
Absolutely.
Elmo St. Peters is the guy that rescues them / steals them. That's Wayne Knight's character in Toy Story 2. He's the
Perfect.
chicken guy who tries to sell Woody.
Yep.
Master's obviously Andy, who also happens to be going to college. Lampy is the Pixar lamp. It's the same freaking motions. It's everything.
Cease and desist. Gentlemen, cease and desist.
When they fall into the swamp, that's like Toy Story 3 of them all holding
Yeah,
hands
yes.
going into the incinerator.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's like all these things one after another. Even like the 2470 McBean Parkway, that's where the mom and Andy, or Andy, mom and the boy live.
Careful.
Master. That's the Cal Arts address. And then A113 is their apartment.
Yes.
So it leans in very heavily. And there are a lot of Pixar people that worked on this. But the cars coming alive at the end with like the headlights as their eyes, it's all like this is like every Pixar movie.
They
just
they
not
separated
yet
them all.
developed.
Yeah,
and
all the
then
movies.
I think this was the scary version where they're like, could this work? They're like, not like this. We need to make this fun. We need a plot. We need a lot more going on.
It would take so little to cut this into a scary movie, like where they make the movies that are funny into scary movies. It would take nothing. It would literally
Correct.
take the introduction to this movie, which I said, I was like, is this a scary movie? Are we about to watch a scary movie? Even the score was scary.
There are so many terrifying things. And those are the things that I remembered too. And I have some trivia with that.
Yeah.
Because Krista made a comment like, isn't that kind of terrifying? And I'm like, yeah.
7.2 out of 10.
And people wanted that removed. And they said, no, thank you.
Well, my plot done poorly, which, you know, we basically hit it over the head, is a person chose to animate a bunch of old appliances into some sort of movie to show us that death is imminent. So in the meantime, why not be a dickhead to one another? The appliances aren't nice to each other
Not at
until
all.
like maybe the end, but like the blanket, everyone
really.
shits on the blanket. I'm like, what did any of them do to any of you? Like
To the
sweet
point
little-
where when the toaster's nice, the lamp's like, what's your deal?
oh, you're being nice to
What
the
are you
blanket
doing?
all of a sudden?
He's like, what do you mean? You're being nice to him. Why? Like, I don't
Listen,
know.
I thought it was clear that we were all assholes.
You're
I don't know.
you're being nice. Even the way he says it too, he just repeats it over and over. He's like, "Well, you weren't nice, and now you're being overly nice, and you weren't nice, you're being overly nice." Like, right? You just said that. Okay.
Listen, I thought
is
we
that
agreed.
a crime?
No. So the director, Jerry Reese, his catalog speaks to less to directing and more to the other things he did, which is he was a storyboard artist on Wall-E, Kung Fu Panda, Ratatouille, Cars, Madagascar, and Shrek, all the Shreks. Produced Space Jam, and he animated Angry Birds, the Simpsons movie, Iron Giant, and the South Park movie.
That's a pretty good resume.
So it's not so much directing, but he knows how
Everything.
to animate. He knows how to draw.
Everything else.
He knows how to put a cartoon together. The writers included Thomas M. Dish, who wrote The Brave Little Toasters 1 through 3.
Did not know that was a novella.
Nope. One episode of Miami Vice. Jerry Reese, also the director, helped write The Brave Little Toasters, also one episode of Alvin and the Chipmunks. And our third writer, Joe Ranft, wrote Cars 1 and 2, A Bug's Life, All the Brave Little
makes sense.
Toasters, Toy Story,
Yeah.
The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and The Rescuers Down Under. So 2 book writers, what it seems to be, or the novelists, and then one Joe Ranft, who did all these Pixar and all these Disney movies. I could not find accurate information on what this movie budgeted and grossed. All I found was its budget was $2.3 million and it grossed $2.3 million. I was like, that seems oddly
Don't think
specifically
so.
the same number. So I don't know how well it did, but it did well enough to garner sequels.
Right.
So something, for some reason, people thought we needed more of this movie. And I think this might be the 3rd episode in a row we do not have a Ebert review for a movie,
Okay.
which I'm starting to lose faith now that we're just not getting one ever again.
It's coming back. Don't worry. This was 87 and a cartoon.
That's true.
So I don't
Not-
think he's
not in his
like,
wheelhouse.
better review this one.
The Chicago Sun-Times gave it a 3 out of 4. Mary Houlihan Skilton said she gave it a positive review, but found a problem with the storytellers using caricatures of Betty Davis, Peter Lorre, Jack Nicholson, Mae West, Joan Rivers, and others to portray them, feeling that became so old that it had been used forever and should be given a rest. So she liked the movie, but just didn't like the impressions. I was like, that's the least of my problems with this movie.
And they do lean into that a
Yeah,
lot.
sure.
There's so many characters you're like, isn't that guy or
Yeah.
that woman? Or I
Or Lon
recognize
Chaney,
that
yeah.
voice or what? All of that, which seems unnecessary, but maybe they were running out of characters.
This is
I
why
don't
the
know.
movie got 7.2. People are like, listen, give me more Jack Nicholson. I love it. Washington Post wrote, Brave Little Toaster is a kid's film made without condescension, a celebration of gizmos and gutsiness. After 9 minutes in the biograph, you're likely to leave with a warm, toasty feeling. That is not what I left with.
no.
I felt sad and upset. I will agree with Film Freak Central, although they gave it a 4 out of 4. Blade Runner for children. I was like, sure. I mean, I think you're getting closer with that. But the other review I found, The Projection Booth, gave it an A. Among the finest animated films Disney never made, but would like you to think they did. The Brave Little Toaster employs aesthetic simplicity to deliver an emotional wallop in its evocation of transformative childhood experiences, the dark, often unwanted discoveries that pave the way to a more enlightened adulthood. Again,
So it's an adult movie for kids or a kids movie for adults? Or
I feel like there's overlap between this and Man of the House, where you leave going, I don't feel great when I left. But at least at Man of the House, I felt like better. I felt
Well, so this is my argument, is that nothing fun happens in this movie. It's one depressing thing after another.
Yes.
And even when they're saved from doom, you're not relieved or there's no like comedic relief at all.
no.
You're just, well, not true. Jon Lovitz is... I need you to watch this again, but just watch Jon Lovitz quotes, or just let me read to you
okay,
his
that's
quotes.
fine. That's
Can I
fine.
do that and cheer
Please,
you up a little?
Because this is my least favorite Jon Lovitz vehicle.
Oh my god,
It's broken me.
So he is my favorite character by
I mean,
far.
that's Fair.
Here are the things that he has said. Maybe he's calling from Blanky heaven. He's a little puffy yellow angel with an odd nose. Don't let the tremendous heights scare you. Things could be worse, you know. How could they be worse? They couldn't. I lied.
That was a good line.
And there was one other one that I wrote down. Oh, I thought it would be good to have somebody come along who's really strong and loud and grumpy and oblivious to reality. He's the one that chimes in at the end. He has so many funny moments and moments that make no sense, or he's just like talking. I feel like Jon Lovitz was perfectly cast for that. Like, that was amazing.
Well,
and you look so disgusted.
I'm starting to see kind of, and in all fairness and in all truth and honesty, I love Jon Lovitz. So I was fully from I messaged you the second this movie started, and I heard Jon Lovitz, and I was like, let's go. And then that was the last moment I felt joy in this movie after that first line. Part of what this movie has issues, or the problems exist, I feel like it almost starts with Jon Lovitz. Like, they wanted this movie very specifically to be for Jon Lovitz so much that it hindered the rest of the movie, like the creation of it, like the rest of it. So I'm like, I this pains my heart to say, like, I wonder if Jon Lovitz not being in this movie would have helped it. He was in between SNL and this, and he literally rushed through all the voiceover to get it done so he could go back to SNL.
Correct.
And in order to do that, they had to write and quickly finish the movie.
Yeah,
so
he had to record all of his audio in one session.
But they also didn't have the script finished, so he had to finish all of it so that they could get it done in time, which to me feels like, yeah, this movie feels like it needed another couple of passes or rewrites or something, because it, to me, just felt like an unfinished movie. Or, and again, I have hot takes and I can say them at other times, but I feel like this movie maybe would have been better served as a short, like something, not a full-length movie.
I'll tell you what, you're pissing a lot of people off.
Well, guess what? Come for me in the comments.
There are
this
so many people that are
bad.
like, I love this movie. How dare you?
Someone literally commented today, do not do Brave Little Toaster. Well, guess what? We did it.
We're doing
and it's
it.
bad.
Yeah.
And it made me sad.
All right, let's take it from the top.
Literally, the first line I wrote, opening of the movie, I said, if you were shown only this introduction, would you believe this was going to be an animated fun movie or a horror movie? Because the score from the beginning, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, sets the tone that this movie is going to be a bummer or sad or terrifying.
But also nothing happens. They're in an empty house. And then it looks like Phil Hartman, a.k.a. the air conditioner, just like decides to kind of like have a brain aneurysm.
Yes.
Like he just
terrifyingly
gets angry and explodes himself. And you're like, oh.
I said, we are 4 minutes into this movie, and I'm not sure that I've ever watched a movie like this. And at first, I wrote that down with hope and like, oh, maybe this is like a new take. And then I realized, oh, there's a reason there are less movies like this, because it is baffling. Here's what I'll say. I love a weird movie. I love a movie that tries a new convention. One of my favorite animated movies is Triplets of Belleville, where there's literally no talking the whole time, and I love it.
Okay.
So this movie, to me, didn't feel the same way as that, but it made me feel like, oh, maybe they're taking this in a different way. But it felt like a lot of this movie, like you said, nothing was happening. Like it was just, here's this happens and this happens, and the characters are doing it all, and that's how it's all connected. But otherwise, I was like, is this a movie? Like, what is this? What am I watching?
It is a movie, but it's like in Bambi when his mom gets shot.
Does
it's
mom get
that
shot?
for an hour and a half.
Here's this sad thing. Here's one appliance almost dying here. All right. Well, now this appliance almost dies there.
Double down and double down and double. Honestly,
here's a sad
because
quote.
there's again, they don't like kick it up to something funny and upbeat. There are upbeat songs, but this almost seems like a horror drama for kids.
Yes. And if that's how it was marketed, then I would have gone in
I don't
and said,
think
you
so,
nailed
though. I would love to see on IMDb how they label this.
Yeah.
I'm sure it says like Adventure Tale.
Yeah.
Because this is almost like half Homeward Bound, half Toy Story. But then you gotta,
but
not
only
even half.
but only Toy Story 3, and only when they're holding hands
So
about
like,
to
okay, 10% Toy Story, 10% Homeward Bound,
Yeah.
and 80% The Shining.
Most 90s kids movies, or the kids movies we've done, there's almost so much exposition, it's like overly done. It's like people being like, hey, I guess we're going to go over here. And it's like to a point where I'm like, all right, I get what you're doing. I almost longed for it in this movie. Like, I need someone to like get this movie
Do
going.
something.
Because nothing's happening. And I kept looking like, where's an hour more of this movie? Like, cause it's,
And I don't know if you're going to get into the plot or if there is even really a plot, because
I'm
like
wanting one.
They walk through a woodlands.
Yeah.
These animals have no clue what these appliances are and are like making faces at them.
Yep.
And then they all wave goodbye. Like, did we establish a relationship?
Exactly.
I don't
Yes, this is my
think
point.
so. Nothing happened unless that was cut or like there was a montage I missed.
This movie feels like if they would have said this was all in one day, and we actually, like most movies parse out over months or years or whatever. This was like, here's just a day in the life, and we're not going to explain how it starts or how it ends. It's like a documentary almost. That is what this felt like versus like, here's the adventure of these characters you care about and the relationships they make. I was like, I don't care about any of them. You're all assholes to each other. And
Well, the characters aren't fleshed out.
no.
The plot is so flawed because it's like, is every appliance sentient?
Yeah.
Because they're dicking around with the fridge, and apparently it's just a fridge. And then there are other appliances or items that aren't alive.
Yeah.
Blanky, I don't think has a plugged-in cord, but it looks like there's a dial, like a heated blanket.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I justified. All right, so if you have a plug,
Yep.
then you can be sentient,
But not the fridge.
but not the fridge and numerous other appliances.
Is this a goofy Pluto situation where like you're both dogs, but one of you talks and one of you doesn't?
Maybe it seems so wild that like, and then the appliances they chose, because Carter watched the beginning with me, and he goes, "Why would the kid care about his vacuum being missing?"
Carter
And I
from
said,
3.
"That's-
Absolutely. I wrote
that's
that down.
a valid point.
The kid's not playing with the vacuum. The
No.
kid's not playing with the air
lamp.
conditioner, which they make the point he didn't play with you, but like,
But he
who
fixed
played
him
with
at the end, and then the air conditioner has tears in his eyes. But he goes, "I get the blanket, but the
nothing
toaster?
else. Nothing else. He's not playing with the
I've
toaster.
never been attached to a toaster yet.
and I certainly
Yet.
won't be after this feature.
But it is such weird appliance choices.
Yes.
And maybe, again, why this is like, wow, early stages of Toy Story.
Yes.
That they realized if you can't play with it or don't give a shit about it, then why are we including this in a movie? So I think that's how the plot is so inherently flawed.
Yeah.
That you have these random appliances
A TV
and a blanket. But a
top.
blanket's not an appliance. So, like, you can't even say appliances.
No.
And then they're looking for their master. They call him master.
Oh my god,
Maybe that's not
I hate
aged
it.
best.
I hate it. First, problematic.
I'm problematic.
I hate not only that it's been said once, but that they keep
Many
saying
times,
it.
many
Just say
times.
his name. Does the kid have a name?
So I had to Google it. And I've seen this many times. It is Rob McGroarty.
No, it's not.
Which just rolls off the tongue.
No, it's not. He doesn't have a name.
McGroarty.
No. That's not as bad as Master. It's close, but like, stop calling him Master.
But when they're
Stop
looking through the yellow pages,
Yeah.
I was hoping that they would see that, or the white pages.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Please.
It's been a while since I've opened one of those. So they're looking for it, and I'm hoping to see his name.
Yeah.
Nowhere. So on Google, then it pops up, 8-year-old Rob McGroarty, which again, they're just sitting in the house, like, what do we do today? And Kirby, who's the only one that's not named after his appliance, it's
Yep.
the brand.
Yep.
Fine, we'll ignore that. Then he goes, we're going to do the same thing we did the last 2,000 days. 2,000 days is 5.4 years. If he was 8 and he aged 5 years, he's not going to college. So again,
Bang.
this
Gotcha.
breaks down so quickly of like the whole point of this
Yeah.
movie makes no sense.
No.
And so I think you have to be a kid to not question it and just be along for the ride and be like, this is scary.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. The Blanky's kind of funny.
Yeah.
There's an angry vacuum.
The toaster's cute.
I guess I'll accept it.
If I'm gonna find something positive, I like the animation of the movie, the style of animation. Like you said, the only other animated movie we've done is a Goofy movie, and there was something about this movie that reminded me of it. I don't know, maybe it's just the animation style, but that was it. It ended there because there were so many times where I was grabbing for something to hold on to like with this movie, and then it would hit me with Master, or it would hit me with them being an asshole to each other, or it would hit me with them all almost dying in mud. I was like, why did this movie get sequels? Why is there more of this? Who wanted more of this?
And I wasn't as critical, I think, because I've seen this before.
Have you seen the sequels? Is there ground? Okay.
No. But I still was like, kept pausing it to see how much time we had left. And I'm like, okay, how does this go again?
Hit him with a song.
If you were going to write the plot down.
Yeah.
And go like we usually do when we review these movies. You go pretty much like major plot point by major plot point.
Yeah.
What are the major plot points?
I was going to say this might be the least amount of notes I've written because I usually hold on to things that happen. And I was like,
But nothing happens.
I literally would go from one note to the next, and I was like, 20 minutes passed. I didn't write anything. I'm like, that's not great.
So literally the notes are Blanky gets sucked up in a storm.
Uh-huh.
They find him in the tree immediately. They try to cross like some sort of cliff.
Yep.
They can't. They fall in the water. They all get out. They go to the city.
And it all starts with 20 minutes of like, if they're establishing in the beginning of this movie that these are characters that we should like, they don't do that.
They don't.
And then it's like, what is happening? What's going to happen? Oh, I guess the master's gone, so they're going to go
find him.
We have to I guess we have to find him, but
how? You don't know where he went? You just see a for sale sign.
Yeah.
It reminded me so much of Homeward Bound, where it's like if you just stayed home, he came to you. Just stay there.
I literally wrote down, this teaches us the life lesson of never do anything. Never put too much effort in anything because it's only going to cause you trouble.
If you leave the house, you may not ever come back.
Never leave the house. That's the lesson learned. Yeah. Aside from my beginning problematic of the master, that whole reoccurrence that upset me repeatedly, I wrote down, we are 10 plus minutes in. I don't know what's going on. I fully don't understand what's happening right now.
That's accurate.
Or where this is going. And then I was immediately met with the air conditioner saying to the vacuum, what are you going to do? Suck me to death? And I at least gave this movie the space to be like, I don't know that was intended as a sexual joke, but this movie's upsetting me so much that I'm like, I don't know what to hold on to. Like, so already I feel so problematic with this movie.
Put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Because for a while, I'm like, wow, is it racist problematic?
Didn't have much.
I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Until I did. Until I did. So when we get to that, buckle up, sister.
So the family moves away.
Is it family? I mean, it's another Andy from Toy Story and his mom.
Yeah.
It's a boy and his mom.
Yeah. I guess I didn't even
There's
pick
no
up
mention
on
of a dad.
Yeah.
The mom you only hear about when she's telling him like, oh, pack all your socks, pack all your stuff for college. He's like, I got it, Mom. Pack a sweater. Okay, got it.
You packed enough underwear for the whole floor.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a kid and his mom.
Yeah. So the appliances all talk about how they missed the child. And I said, they keep calling the child master. Wouldn't the masters be the adults? I imagine they'd have more experience being used by the adults. A vacuum, aside from the blanket, the toaster, things that kids don't play with. I was like, why wouldn't they just call him the boy or his name, Robbie or something? Like, again,
this is why this was like initial Toy Story walkthrough where they're like, here are 45 things that don't make sense. We need to correct this before we make a real movie.
If someone told me this movie was like, oh, here's the initial idea for what Toy Story became, I'd be like, makes sense. Totally glad it ended up here.
Right.
Not, we are here. This is a thing to enjoy. May I take a moment to say that this is our highest rated movie of this current season, the second highest movie that will review all the season, I believe, and I don't know why that is. 7.2 out of 10. Explain. Like, lay it out for me. Aside from, to your point, I was a kid, I liked the songs and the animation. If you were telling me that this movie hangs up in the rafters with some of the top movies we reviewed, I say nay. I say nay, Jim.
You're really talking me out of this because
This is a court hearing, and I am not defending this movie.
Well, because if I'm shocked by your take and that I thought you would be okay with it. I didn't think you would love it. I thought you would love Jon Lovitz.
Listen,
and I thought the rest would be like, eh.
I am a staunch. I love A League of Their Own, The Critic, like The Wedding Singer. Him on SNL. It was the first time that I was like, Jon Lovitz can't save this.
What are your most and least favorite characters? Because I wrote for least favorite characters, I had none. Like, I don't even know how you distinguish one as being worse than the other.
I would say it's a five-way tie for all of them.
Yeah?
Like the blanket was like the little sweetest thing. I was like, if I have to have a sneaky Pete, it's the blanket because he has a sweet little voice and everyone's a dick to him for absolutely no reason. Like
because he's sweet.
Because he's sweet. And I guess, again, this is the kind of thing that in a rewrite, they could go, someone in the room or at the table would be like, so why are they all addicted to him? It's like, oh, well, we could have a line where they said, or a flashback where the boy preferred him to them or something that established why they were all angry at him.
Right.
They're just all addicted to him. It's just like there's a baby sitting there and they're like, fuck you, man. Like there's no reason for it. There's none. And then we got into songs and I was like, wait, this is a musical?
There's like 3 songs, 3 very
Those are almost there, I think,
songs.
to knock me off of like, I was so hyper focused on like the feeling this movie's giving me, and then a song would hit, and I'm like, it like hit me between the eyes and kind of like frazzled me.
And I remembered the songs, but I also think they get, to your point, I think the writing was sped up exponentially.
Yeah.
Because the first song is like, this is kind of catchy. Second one, this is okay. Then in the pawn shop, they're like, this is madness.
Like a high
This is
tech
insane. The pawn shop and then the high tech room, and then at the end at like the junkyard.
Yes.
Like now these aren't even songs, and the name of the song is Worthless, which didn't pick up on that until as an adult.
And some of the songs are just about like, you are going to die today. It's like, why is that? Why are you doing this
And
to me?
all the appliances hate each other. They're all trying to knock them out of the window, which knock them out of the window is another Toy Story thing.
Oh my God.
And into the dumpster. So, okay, maybe we need to focus on like trivia.
Something.
Because
There's not much left. There's not a lot of plot to get into.
There's no more
we
plot.
could just get...
Trivia and facts.
Master, a.k.a. Rob McGroarty,
Wrong. No, that's not a name.
wants to go back to his childhood cottage, or was that his family home? It looked like a summer house type
I
thing.
think it
if
was
they're
because they
selling
kept
it.
calling it the cottage. So I
Right.
believe that to be the summer home.
So for some reason, all of his most cherished appliances are there. And he wants
We
to
love them all.
grab them before he goes to college.
Yeah.
Because how many times did you use a toaster in college?
And,
or even a vacuum.
And you couldn't just use a different toaster. You
No.
had to use that one.
And his girlfriend's even like, I mean, I can get you a dozen toasters.
She's the one voice of
He's
reason
like,
in this whole
nope,
movie.
nope. All right, so here are some fun facts.
Yeah.
Jon Lovitz radio. Phil Hartman was the air conditioner. He was also the hanging lamp. Thurl Ravenscroft
Yes.
was Kirby. Do you know what else he voiced?
The fucking singer in The Grinch. I knew that when I saw Thurl
Okay.
Ravenscroft out, but otherwise, no.
What if I said, they're great?
Oh my God. That's an excellent
Thank
Thurl,
you.
my friend.
He is Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes.
Wow. What a catalog. What a
He
resume.
also was an accomplished singer, performed with Elvis, had a number of other singers, died in 2005 at 91. Mindy Sterling. She is Frau from Austin Powers.
Wow. And what was
That's
she?
Mom.
Okay. All right.
And I looked at her IMDb. She's been in a ton.
Yeah,
A ton. So you were talking about like all the other Pixar movies.
Yeah.
John Raft, he is Heimlich, the caterpillar in A Bug's Life. He's Lenny, the
Oh.
binoculars in Toy Story. He's Wheezy, the penguin in Toy Story 2.
Wow.
He's Jacques, the shrimp in Finding Nemo.
Oh, my
He's
God. Wait.
Red, the fire truck in Cars, in addition to being Elmo St. Peter's, who you probably have no clue who that is.
No.
It's the guy that owns like the pawn shop or whatever that is.
No, again, that's
They
not
call
a-
him Mr. Peters in the song.
Yeah.
And I had closed captioning on, which if you watch YouTube with closed captioning,
Yeah.
so many words make no
Just
sense.
inaccurate.
Like Blanky, it says thank you at one point
Yeah.
or love you at another point, and it's
Sure.
not.
That's not it.
Halfway through filming, producer Donald Kushner thought that the nightmare scene should be cut. That's where Toaster's
fucking
having a
clown?
nightmare of the clown.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Due to the clown being extremely frightening to younger children.
And adults.
He also stated that the junkyard scene should be cut from the film too, due to one of the cars driving into the crusher on purpose using a suicide reference. Did not even pick that up.
And there's another suicide reference during the pawn shop song, or right before it. When a lamp comes down, it's like, should we hang around? And I was like,
Yes.
how many? We're doing suicide jokes now? Jesus
Well,
Christ!
The toaster's dream is him dangling over a bathtub with water in it. And then forks going into him. Like, which part of that should I be more offended by?
Oh my God!
So, for unknown reasons, the scenes were left in the film. Literally what it says on IMDb. For unknown reasons.
I
the
agree.
Scenes were left in the film.
There are no known reasons for them.
Kristen is terrified of clowns.
Oh my God!
And I said, do you remember this? And she goes, is this why I'm terrified of clowns?
I could see why.
87. It checks all the
3 years
boxes.
old, around 2 years old. I'd say it's either this or Killer Clowns from Outer Space or It, are one of the 3 clown horrifying movies that set a tone for many kids in the 80s and 90s.
There were many of them, but this seemed so
Yeah,
unnecessary.
absolutely.
There's no reason for that. That's all the fun trivia I got.
Yeah, none of this is fun. I think there's been a couple episodes where some have more hot takes than others, and all my hot takes are just: are these characters supposed to be likable? What am I supposed to feel? How is this movie rated high? Like, they're all questions, and none
Yeah.
of them have answers. At one point, we get a montage where all the animals are in a pond and they're chasing after a worm trying to eat it.
Yeah.
And I said, with the tone of this movie, I was fully convinced that worm is getting eaten. I'm like, oh, this worm's not getting away. Like, surely he'll be dead.
But it makes no sense either. The frogs start synchronized swimming. The fish that is holding onto the
Yeah.
worm, which the bird has taken into its
Yep.
talons, they let go so they can sing and dance in the water.
Yeah.
And then the worm gets in a bubble and just floats away. and the fish is smiling. Why did this all just happen?
That's the line for this movie. Why did this all just happen?
So then what are there any things that were your favorite of this movie? If I was forced to have you pick something?
The end. When I wrote down, this movie is now done, thank fucking Christ. Like this movie ending I felt such a relief because I was like, I don't have to feel this anymore. It's like being on an airplane with turbulence and the wheels hit the ground and you go, okay, all right.
All right, can I pick two things?
Please.
The woodland animals all waving goodbye to the appliances. Again, like we've become best friends.
Bye, even though we've established no relationship.
Like if they all built a vehicle together and it was like, all right, see you later, bye. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
And then when Blanky becomes like a tent, when he goes over the branches and he leans like this, like wants everyone to sit next to him, which again, he has no hands.
Yeah.
But the corner of the blanket, he's just leaning on like, hey guys, you want to come lay under me?
And
that to me cracked me up.
That and fair, I'll give you that. But not far off of the scene I just said was when they went to find a clearing in the field and the blanket tried to snuggle up with the toaster and the toaster told him to fuck off. I was like, for
also,
what
it's
is it done
warm.
to anyone?
He is inherently warm.
Plug him in.
You're an electrical item. Don't you want to be covered?
No, fuck you. I don't like you for reasons unknown to all of us. And then after that, the toaster, when they're walking in the woods, the toaster walks over to a flower that's basking in the sun. The flower tries to touch it because it sees its reflection.
Correct.
The toaster tells it, I'm not a flower. That's just a reflection. And then he runs away, turns around to look at the flower, who's now wilting, and he doesn't go to comfort it. He just leaves it to die. I was like, why? Why?
I mean, now that you say a lot of this out loud,
it's like if you're talking to your wife or anyone, it's like she starts to like re-explain it to you, and you're like, okay, when you say it that way, it doesn't sound so good.
Okay, this is like a fever dream.
I wrote this down. Is this movie a fever dream?
And then you wake up and try to explain it to someone, and like in the moment it made so much sense, and now you're just like, what in the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, yep.
That's this movie.
Yes.
It's a horror fever dream.
I said, is this a movie or a fever dream I'm having? I wrote that down.
We are very simpatico between this walked so that Toy Story could run and fever dream.
What is astonishing is that we've come together to hold hands and do our synchronized routine, only to split at the end for me to not like this movie and for you to have fond memories of it.
Because you're a reflection. And I'm going to wilt away in the corner and die.
I said, this movie has about an hour to turn this around, and I have very little faith that it will. And it certainly did not.
Spoiler alert.
It kept the tone. It said, you know what? We got something cooking here. Let's keep bumming him out. The toaster has a nightmare where the smoke from him grabs the boy, and we get the horrifying clown that says, run.
Yeah.
Run.
Oof.
Run.
And toasters can't run.
Run. At this point, I go, I'm just not realizing the vacuum is the singer from the original Grinch. So
there you go.
We got to throw Ravenscroft. And at that point, I went,
And Tony the Tiger.
It's the point in the roller coaster where you just hit like a flat part before you start to rise again or drop again. You're like, oh, okay. That's nice for a
nice
moment.
little view.
Yeah. Except now all the appliances fall off a cliff to their potential death. Like, again, we've not allowed you peace. We are only bringing you misery and sadness.
But they don't. They don't die, Nick.
But maybe they should have. At that point, they should have just said, look, we got 30 more minutes, but the rest of this movie is that they're dead. Like, we're just watching them float in the water.
Toaster's holding his breath. Like, do you need to?
Toasters don't have breath.
And they're all kind of like by gender. So
none of it matters. None of it provides solace.
That went over my head. The voice of Toaster is a woman, which...
Okay, sure.
Okay, but I thought it was like
Bart
a young
Simpson
boy.
sort of thing, yeah.
Yes, and that's what I wrote down. Jesus. Again, I said this is the most shocking thing that I learned since learning Tommy Pickles and Bart Simpson were both voiced by women.
There you go. Perfect.
And then the other thing, so right after the scene you're describing is when Toaster starts being nice to Blanky. Lamp is like, what's going on? I watched that scene very carefully.
Okay.
Because the Lamp has such an odd response. He's like, oh, I see what's going on. Is there an implied relationship between Toaster and Blanky? He makes it seem like, oh, because all of a sudden you didn't like him, and now it seems like you do. It feels very much like, you guys are together?
Well, like, Well, again, at least that would provide me something. That, okay, there's a relationship, or there's some sort of stakes where this
Care
movie's
about- like they
Survivor.
care about
This
each
is a
other?
Survivor situation. They're all getting voted off. So why are you two becoming friendly all of a sudden? It's like, why do you care? We're all
Right.
dicks to each other for no reason, and now we're all friends for no reason. So what the fuck
Yeah, we
does it
all
matter?
fight, and then we all tell each other to knock it off.
And
but
then,
we're
whoops,
still
we're all
fighting.
almost going to die. And that's
Yeah.
what I got to this next scene. They're all about to die in the mud. Do you know what the blanket fucking says before it goes into the mud?
Like, I'm ready or something?
I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Who the fuck says that in a kid's movie before they die? That is 100% Toy Story 3 where they
Yes,
hold hands.
yes.
And at that moment
all
when
I
I
could
watched
think
that
of.
for the first time, I lost my breath. I felt my breath leave my chest and tears well up in my eyes in that moment in Toy Story. The difference is that I cared about those characters. I don't care about these characters. I don't want them to die.
No.
But hearing the littlest, tiniest voice of all of them say, I'm not scared as it's about to die, I was like, why did you do this to me?
This also keeps feeding into our irrational fear of like quicksand.
I wrote down quicksand at first, and I was like, "Is this supposed to be
I
quicksand?"
think it's a swamp, so it's just like murky.
It
but
feels like quicksand. The
how
90s
many
fear of
times were you
quicksand.
like, listen, quicksand's dangerous.
Have you
This
seen
is how you
Princess
get
Bride?
out. This is how you get out of quicksand. Like
You jerk around as quickly as you can.
No, you don't. You fall further. You got to lay on your back.
You put your face into it.
You try to lay back. But the fact that like that was a concern of ours, I've never encountered quicksand in my life.
Not yet.
And I have.
This movie was quicksand. This movie was metaphorical
Slow
quicksand.
death.
I kept struggling, and it only made it hurt and get worse.
Nick, I'm not scared. Well, do we want to go
Yeah,
more
I-
negative, or
yeah,
do we want to bring it back?
You tell me how you bring it back, because I only feel like it's like Stranger Things. It's like the only way out is through. Like we can only get get through it all. The negative.
Is it so problematic?
I'm problematic.
So in the pawn shop, there are many different items that are singing.
Mm-hmm.
There is one of them that has a certain physique.
Yeah, that's a certain physique.
Kristen goes, "Did you see that?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
This is where I began in life to hate toasters, but I really loved the recorder machines.
The
in my life.
recorders. I had an odd
goodness.
affinity for recorders. It gets worse.
Oh, how? Please tell me. Is there a
So-
little Hitler microwave?
Nope. We just lean more into the female figure.
Yeah.
So when the TV is trying to get Master to recognize that, hey, there's a junkyard that has the toys
right,
there.
right. Yes.
They
I
bring
think
up,
I know where you're going.
They bring up Rooney's. And Rooney's is a place where he's like, you don't want to go there.
Yeah.
They have used vacuums. And then he holds up a picture. He says, I have proof.
Yeah.
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 A
A
woman
nudie shot. A nudie picture.
with large breasts with stars
With
covering her
post-it
nipples.
notes over the nipples.
I don't remember that. That definitely went over my head.
How could you?
And what is the point in that? Why on earth would that be in a kid's movie?
No.
And why would that be something that would deter him from wanting to purchase an item?
This movie feels like all the rumors and myths of every Disney movie where it was like, oh, if you look hard enough, you see a boner or you see a middle finger
Sex.
or you see, and it's like, and then some of those are disputed. Some of those are real. No, all those things are real and in this movie and for no reason. For truly, like,
agree.
it feels like the animators, did they hate this movie or they like, fuck this movie, so we're going to put weird things. Like, who
I think that they
wanted
were
this?
rushed. Maybe they were rushed and they're just
They
like,
were absolutely rushed.
we're sitting in the dark. We're going to, like, they were in a dark place.
Yeah. All of them.
They were on some bad drugs and needed something a little more uplifting, or they needed drugs. I don't know which one.
Someone
it was
needed
depressing.
something. Almost St. Peter saves them from the mud / quicksand to bring them to the shop. And you go, oh, this is great. There's going to be a happy ending here. Except they meet the other appliances in the shop. They give the lamp a new light bulb and they say, use it in good health while you still can. And I'm like, oh, great. So now this is going to be upsetting too. And this is where you get a song about how they can't escape. This is going to be their fate. There's a suicide joke where a lamp drops out and says, just hang around. I'm like,
Yeah, because all the appliances are gutted. It's Sid's
it's
bedroom.
It's Sid's bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just all gutted for parts. And
Except
he's like,
they're
oh.
not helping them.
No,
They're just like,
not at all.
come join us. Like, we're all going to die here.
So then it's like the preschool in Toy Story 3 where like they don't want to let them get out.
yeah.
They're just trying to save themselves.
Yeah. The boy, which again, Gregory St.
Rob
Gregory.
McGroarty.
Gregory St. Gregory comes back to the cottage to find all the appliances missing, which teaches us the lesson, stop trying so hard, it'll only get you in trouble. I said, all they had to do was stay there. This movie was much better as a short where they had the idea, the toaster had the idea to do this, and this is all his dream, his imagining, and then he snaps out of it, the boy comes home, and they're all happy together. No, none of them are happy. None of this is happiness. It's all upsetting, and I hate it. And now there's another song. Like, every song surprised me. I never expected any of the songs to happen, aside from, like, maybe 1 second before. I was never like, oh, this feels like a song's going to happen. It was like, no, here's this scene, and do-do-do-do-do-do music. I'm like...
But not that upbeat.
that would have felt like it would have given me some sort of joy. The appliances all end up at the dump. And I said, you guessed it, it's another fucking song. We got another tune, except all the cars are depressed because they're about to go get smashed and killed.
I think that's one of the weirder things too, is normally a song is an opportunity in a movie to like make things a bit happier. Yeah. And this is doubling down where they're so depressing.
Somehow, maybe even worse. Somehow the song, it's like now our depression is put to a tune. There's a melody to our sadness.
But I remembered it and I was like, ooh, I remember that line.
You're like, okay, you know, the trauma
and
has a
we
beat.
all will die.
And I said, you know what? Here's my other hot take. I said, I think I figured out what the intention of this movie was. It was to scare kids into not running away from home. All it shows us is that the world is scary, no one can be trusted, and you will die or almost die in every situation you're in. There are so many, I mean, we had milk cartons, we had dare campaigns, we had so many things that were set up to scare us, to put fear in us, the fear of God. This movie was just like, listen, we could keep kids at home. Anyone who's thought about running away.
Right, they won't anymore.
Just watch this movie. Not only will they miss their favorite appliances, but they will die every 10 to 20 minutes or possibly die.
It's the Arrested Development, like, and this is why we turn the light off when we leave the room.
And this is why you leave a note. Yes, this is this movie. The kid finds all the appliances, and now he's about to die at the dump because, of course, he is. Like, it's about to come.
Because the magnet is on a death mission. Like, he's pissed off that they're running away. Why do you care?
You're one of them.
Your job is just to lift things. Who cares what you're lifting?
Again, you're one of the appliances. Like,
just slaughter some cars. Why do you need these appliances?
And literally, that's where my notes end, because I wrote, and now this movie is done. Thank fucking Christ. Like, I have so few plot points written down. I just write down why, what, where, what, for why. Like, it's just a series of questions that never get answered.
But if you were going to sincerely write the plot,
yeah,
it's appliances want to find their previous owner. They journey through the woods to a big city. They find him. He takes them to his college dorm.
Okay.
That's the whole plot.
Yeah.
But to get there,
I said this.
Nothing happens in between.
I said this movie is an example of how hard it is to make a good movie, even with a good idea. Because this movie, especially knowing that it's before Toy Story, is like revolutionary. Someone wrote that on a napkin and was like, I had this movie for an idea. You'd be like, yeah, I've never heard of that. That sounds
I don't know, though.
You don't think so? All things come into life and...
Things coming to life, yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's where Toy Story did such a good job, because they had a world...
Well, it's a kid's toys. I guess it's an easy jump to make.
But they also, like, did things.
Yeah.
So when people weren't around,
yes,
it was like games, talking, conversation. This is just like their only focus is master.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, how do we get there? Like, well, who cares? What does it matter? And they do have some flashbacks of like, he replaced my bulb. Okay, this isn't like exciting though. Like, the appliances don't ever interact with each other until they're trying to find him. That's their only real united front.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know how much joy that's going to bring you when he's in college.
None.
But I guess they're happy at the end. I don't know.
I guess. And I think they're all just happy. They're all just happy. Like, all right, this is all over. We can all be. We're
in the trunk.
It's literally the end of There Will Be Blood, where he's just sitting in the bull and he goes, "I'm finished." Like, it's happy to be done.
That's you on the couch.
That is me on the couch. Except I'm not Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm Paul Dano, who just got his life. He just got beaten to death.
Well, I have something else that will bring you down.
Oh yeah, baby.
Dead or alive.
So the toaster, again, did not know it was a woman. Deanna Oliver.
Dead.
She's alive.
Oh, good.
73 years old. Good for her.
Good.
John Ramp.
Dead.
Who is almost St. Peter's and also the voice of
the writer, the other writer.
Yeah, and didn't realize he was all those voices, the Heimlich, Lenny, Wheezy, Jacques, Red.
I'll say alive
No, he's not. He died. He drove off a bridge off of Highway 1 into the Navarro River in California.
Okay, you know what? That tracks. That tracks. Yep. Okay.
But he was like,
this movie is The Ring.
He was a prolific Pixar guy and just
Jesus drove off a
one
bridge.
car accident. Yeah, drove.
Oh, it
off
was a
the
car
bridge.
accident.
Yeah, he drove off the bridge.
But was it an accident?
I mean, it was a one car. It wasn't like two cars hit each other and one flew off. It was a guy drove off a bridge. So I don't know. I wasn't there.
Depressing.
Sorry.
Just like this movie.
Mishmash, the old razor canoper lamp who sounded like Joan Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Judy Toll.
She's dead.
She is. 2002 at 44 complications from melanoma.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lampy, Timothy Stack.
Alive.
He is alive, 71 years old.
Yay.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Blanky's also alive. He's 46 years old.
That would have been the cherry on top. Is you're like, Blanky's dead.
Right.
Like, and just like my joy.
To be honest, I was kind of hoping. I didn't use him because
You're like, ooh, please.
I'm like, he's only 46. Well, he was, but he died.
Yeah.
But no, he's alive.
All right, so I guess some other trivia and facts that I found. In a 2010 interview at Cal State, Deanna Oliver revealed that at her son's deployment ceremony to Afghanistan, some of the soldiers who were fans of the film brought their toasters
I saw that.
for autographs.
That's weird.
Evidently, toasters are a thing people care about. Enough so to
But
bring
your
them with them to
son's being
college.
deployed, sign this toaster? I saw that too, and I
to
thought,
certain
what a
death.
weird
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah, well, it fits this movie. I'm like, yep, this all tracks.
Great.
We already talked about this a little bit, but during pre-production, Jon Lovitz was cast on Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
But Jerry Reese, who was writing radio with Lovitz in mind, pleaded with him to stay in Los Angeles long enough to record his voice tracks. Lovitz agreed, despite protests from his agency. Hey,
Yep.
guess what? Your agency was fucking right. Protest. You didn't protest loud enough. Reese quickly finished the screenplay, hustled Lovitz in the recording studio, and his entire performance was captured in one marathon session.
Which I cannot believe that.
I can't, but after watching this movie, I'm like,
But hearing what goes into the voice recording right now is like you saying every line 25 times or
Yeah.
like, it is over there.
Right.
It is over there.
Well,
it is over there.
or was it just like, yep, you're good next. Yep, you're good
Probably.
next. Like, I don't even know where this movie's going. Hit me with 3 variations on that line. Like,
And that is, again, for me, thinking radio is the best character.
Yeah.
90% of his lines make no sense.
I agree.
They're references that kids don't understand.
Not at all.
I don't understand. He talked about one with Pee Wee Reese.
Yeah. mhm.
It goes, Pee Wee Reese, bases loaded, bats into a triple play.
Yeah.
So I'm Googling, I'm like, Pee Wee Reese. First off, he never batted into a triple play. He played for the Dodgers.
Wrong.
He was a 10-time All-Star and a vocal supporter of Jackie Robinson.
Okay.
But what we're focusing on is he hypothetically batted into a triple play. That's what you're... Why? And no one gets that.
Because
no
it's
one
the old-timey
understands.
voice. You'll understand,
Bats
kids in
into a
the
triple
90s.
play for the
Yes.
Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah, see? And here's an impression of Joan Rivers and Lon Chaney, see? No one's good. No, who is this for?
No kid understands any of this.
No. This film is considered by many to be the prototypical Pixar film. Many of Pixar's most important members, including Joe Ranft and John Lasseter, were involved with the Brave Little Toasters production. It also contains tropes that have become common in Pixar films, objects with human-like qualities, a long journey that changes the characters, and dark adult themes hidden in the guise of a children's film.
Not hidden.
No. Even the famous code A113, which you see in the Pixar films, appears as the master's apartment number. Stop this. David Newman, the composer, considers this score that he did for this movie to be the best of his career. Fucking why? What else have you done that this holds up? Like, unless you want to say the score that I've done that most accurately depicts the feeling I have in this movie, then yes, I guess you nailed it, David. Well done to you.
Is this the only score he's done?
One score, and I nailed it.
Because, like,
and I
this is
dropped
the
mic.
best I've ever done.
This movie was originally in development at Walt Disney with John Lasseter set to direct. Lasseter planned to use a combination of traditional hand-drawn animation and CGI for the characters, making it the first animated feature to attempt it. Executives, however, lost interest when they found that the film would not have been any less expensive with computer animation. They were only interested in CGI as a cost-cutting measure, and they pulled the plug on the project. Lasseter was fired by Disney and then co-founded Pixar. So what I will say again is, without this movie, we don't get Pixar and Toy Story. So then I guess fine, sure.
But so this isn't a Disney movie?
It's not Disney, and that's why one of the reviews says this is the best Disney movie that is not a Disney movie. It's not a Disney movie,
And the toughest to find because 2 and 3 are on Disney Plus.
and that's another perplexing thing. I'm like, so what? Why? What? why? Like, I don't know. It said Lasseter was fired by Disney and then co-founded Pixar, while the rest of the team took the film outside and managed to produce it independently without any computer animation. The completed film was eventually bought by Disney, shown on the Disney Channel, and became a cult hit. As for the animators, many of them eventually returned to Disney, Beauty and the Beast, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Pixar's early films. So they other studios put the movie out, and then that's, I think, why the sequels are on Disney, but why isn't this on Disney?
It makes no sense.
I don't know. In a scene where the TV tries to convince the master to go to Ernie's disposal, there's a shot of the character pulling paper out of a filing cabinet. One of the sheets of paper has a near topless woman.
Yeah.
The original version has stars covering her nipples on it. Alternate Disney release prints have a bra instead of the stars.
Is that better?
Why have it at all?
Right.
Just cut the fucking scene.
Yes.
This film was a smash hit at Sundance, but failed to find a distributor. I could guess why. That same year, it aired on the Disney Channel and then appeared in the Park City Film Festival before finally having a brief theatrical release at New York's Film Forum in May 1989, but still failed to find a distributor. It was actually shown in parts at various theaters as a serial from week to week, and in 1991, it was distributed to video. Did you not feel like this was a sign? Like the people were liking it, but no one wanted to put this movie out? Like, I feel like the signs were there, and they just went, nah, we're going to do it. We're going to keep going.
I think to your point, I think the visuals of it, because inanimate objects have the characteristics of people and the way they move. I think that was so unique for its time. But you have to have a plot with it, and one that makes sense. That isn't, this is for kids.
Right.
Let's make this as sad and depressing as possible with really adult themes.
This again just brings me back to old movies that we've done that upset us, that made us frustrated, which is like, again, on paper, in theory, these movies work. You could splice this movie off into 3 different directions, and that works, and that idea works, and that doesn't work. And it truly just shows me when movies are good, it's like, it feels so easy. But if you were to take all the pieces that went along and all the luck and all the things that had to happen, it's like...
Yeah, there's a lot of variables that have to fall into place.
Imagine some of your most favorite movies, animated or otherwise, like how easy they could have all been shit. And thankfully, they're not.
Well, we talk about casting what ifs, or scenes that were cut, or scenes that were added, or different plot points, and you're like, wow, that could have been a way different movie.
Yeah, that movie could have been way more racist. Thankfully, it wasn't.
And Disney is based off of basically like the most depressing Hans Christian Andersen stories that they're like, oh, Cinderella chops off her heel because she wants to fit in the shoe.
Yep.
And like, so this is like the Hans Christian Andersen before it's Disneyified.
Yeah.
This is just a sad, sad tale.
It sure is.
Sequels, prequels, spin-offs, and such.
The Brave Little Toaster was followed by 2 sequels a decade later. The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue in 1997 and The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars in 1998. The latter, Mars, is based on the sequel to Dish's novella, while the former, Rescue, is a brand new story. So the second movie is a brand new story, but the third is existing content, existing IP. Okay. While reuniting most of the cast and producers, they had a different director in Robert C. Ramirez and new crew members. Reese noted that the original film was made out of pure love. The fuck it is. And not thought of as a kid's film or product. And that he had heard the new approach was more a commercial venture. So I wonder if those sequels feel way less heavy and are more happy or more light.
They have to be. Even the cover, like look at the cover of 2.
Yeah.
There's like a glow to it. Like it just looks so upbeat and happy.
Yeah. The reason they made these sequels is for me to go, well, certainly there must be happier versions of this.
I kind of want you to watch
I
them.
feel like I need to. And I'll be able to find them on Disney Plus, unlike its predecessor. It said Deanna Oliver felt that despite Ramirez being a talented director who handled the franchise with care, instead of film and character driven, the project seemed more about getting it done because it could be made. This original movie was rushed and gotten done.
She feels that way for the next 2.
Yeah, she's like, these movies don't have the heart that the original did. Except it was a heart that got stabbed to death by fucking everyone in this movie. In 2006, the official website of Hyperion Pictures posted an image of a possible 4th film in CGI, but that film was never produced. The website was inactive for years before being re-updated in 2019. Waterman Entertainment planned a live-action remake, but it was never produced. Please, everyone, leave the well. Stop going back to the well of this movie. Unless, again, this is the theory where people say, like, stop doing remakes of good movies, find remakes of bad movies and make them good, then fine. But otherwise, leave this the fuck alone.
Yeah, I don't need any more of it.
I don't need a live action real toaster about to drop into a bathtub and a real reel-to-reel audio recording device with overly sexual tones. I don't need it, and I don't want it. I'm just yelling for the rest of this episode. Is it appropriately rated reviewed? No, it's not. This is our 26th movie we have reviewed, and this is the 5th best movie according to the ratings. I haven't hated a movie this much since Blake Check or Ladybugs. I said technically it may be the worst movie we have done because it didn't feel like a movie at all. Like, this wasn't a movie to me. It was just a bunch of shit that happened to some characters.
It's a short.
And that's what I said. I said, this movie works as a short because shorts, you don't have enough time.
You don't have to actually get into a plot.
You don't. Some do, but some of my favorite shorts are just like Piper. You just watch the little bird go. Bow. There's a plot there, but for the most part, you're just like, I love this animation. I love the little story. This works well as a short. This is mind-boggling as a full-length feature.
So I'll be honest with you. For Is It Appropriately Rated Reviewed, I did write spot on.
Get the fuck out of here. 7.2 out of 10, Jim.
I thought it was out of 20, to be fair.
Jim, do I need to go to the rank? Do I need?
No.
I'm going to the rankings. 7.2, Jim. That means this movie is better than Matilda.
Okay,
fucking
no chance.
naysayer.
No chance.
It's almost as good as Goonies, which you may despise. It's
No,
only a
no
few.
way.
It's less than a point off of The Sandlot. Like, give me a fucking break. Labyrinth. Okay, you might negate that. No.
Okay, again, I think I was wearing rose-colored glasses watching this because there were scenes that I remembered.
Yes.
So I'm not watching it as much for like, does this make sense? Is this depressing? And even then, I still picked up on things where I'm like, oh, yikes, that's not great.
Is this your Labyrinth?
No, because I don't love this movie.
Okay. But you
No.
agree that it is a 7.2 out of 10.
At first,
Okay,
because I
okay.
had fond memories. Again,
Okay,
I had
okay.
fond memories of certain things. I thought Blanky was funny. I really thought Jon Lovitz was funny. So those different aspects.
Sure.
And like Tony the Tiger's voice.
Sure.
But even having the nostalgia, there are moments now where I'm like, that's not great. That's depressing. That's terrifying. Why are we doing that? So in retrospect, no, I would say probably like a 5 something is more appropriate. And I could argue lower. I could argue a little higher. But after hearing someone that's never seen it before and what you're going through, it's like,
Have I swayed you?
yeah, it's like if you have a favorite shitty restaurant or like
Yes.
something like that where then someone else comes in and they're like, really?
This
and
is
you're
what
like,
you fucking eat.
like, I mean, yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, I mean, when you put
It's
it
not
that
that
way,
great.
yeah, this movie is very much that experience. And I
Like that's part of its charm.
Oh, you
that
just
it
don't know.
tastes like dog shit.
You don't know. Just because you found asbestos in your food doesn't mean it's
Right.
bad for you. Like, that's the little flavor, the little sauce on it. Yeah.
So yeah, okay. It's not appropriately rated and reviewed.
I said answerable questions. Yeah. What could have saved this movie? You turn it into a short. You rewrite the script. There's ways to save it, but this is unsavable as it is. I shut the door. I close the book on this production, and I say to anyone who fights for this movie and supports this movie, you're fucking wrong. You're fucking wrong.
Thank you for listening. Please follow, rate, review, like, and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And tune in next week when we review another cinematic masterpiece from our childhood. Until then, what are you gonna do? Suck me to death.